What up, Ballners? My name is Darian. Welcome back to Camp Conversations Day 5, breaking down the last 2 days of Broncos training camp as I missed yesterday. Let's get started. First up yesterday, the Broncos were doing some one-on-one drills, and Riley Moss continues to impress, but also guys like Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, and Marvin Mims had a couple big plays. But I'm really liking what I'm hearing out of Riley Moss. Seems like he's really picked up his game so far in camp, and we need to see that translate to the regular season. Zach Allen had his first big day dominating in pads. Obviously, Zach Allen is an absolute monster, and it's good to hear that he's looking healthy and fresh. Heard our first news out of Savion Jones on Tuesday. Had a good TFL on Jonah Coleman, I believe. Good to hear his name. And Zach Allen also did mention him in his press conference, saying he's much more ready going into year 2. So that's great things out of the Broncos' interior defensive line room. The edge rushers continue to shine, especially a guy like Jonah Ellis, who's looking more comfortable by the day, continuing to play that edge position, and I think the Broncos keeping him at the edge position is the right move. Nick Bonito did limp off the field with trainers, but Sean Payton said it's a lower leg injury and it's nothing serious, so we got to keep an eye out on that situation. The Broncos defense had a really nice day on Tuesday. It got a little chippy towards the end of practice between J-Mac and Evan Ingram, but it's all in good competition for the Denver Broncos, and nothing serious was said after practice. Talanoa Hufanga did tell the media that let him know it was a defensive day. Like I said, it being a defensive day, the Broncos D-line really shut down the Broncos run game in the run periods and in team, so keep an eye out on that. Need to see the Broncos run game bounce back a little bit, but that interior front seven is looking strong. Courtland Sutton has not practiced the last 2 days of camp, but Sean Payton does expect him to be back in pads tomorrow. No injury on him. But Jalen Waddle did limp into the locker room today, but Sean Payton said it was a little muscle tightness and they'll keep an eye on it, so we need to see if he's back out there tomorrow or if we'll have to miss a couple days of camp. Tuesday was the most physical day of camp, heading into the Wednesday 2.5-hour long practice, so let's get into that. As I said, Jalen Waddle left practice, and it was during individual drills. So in team drills, they were without him and Courtland Sutton, but there were a couple of big plays to both Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin. Good to hear some good news out of Troy Franklin. Sean Payton did talk about him a little bit, so he's much more comfortable in the offense and all the formations he's going to be needed to use in. Also sung the praise of Pat Bryant, so I'm really liking what we're seeing out of the wide receiver room. Obviously need to get Courtland back out there after his vet days, and need to see Jalen Waddle stay healthy. But the defense dominated again today, and I think the main group of camp conversations today will be the entire defense stacking a couple days next to each other. Need to see the offense bounce back and find a little bit of rhythm, definitely in the run game, and especially against that tough Broncos secondary. Tight ends weren't super involved today, according to Luka Evans, so we need to see a little bit more of that. Kind of had a couple more quiet days out of Evan Ingram. Need to see the tight ends be used a little more creatively against this defense, especially if they're already struggling. Chris Abrams-Draine and Jahdae Barron got a lot of reps at outside corner, not a ton for Pat Surtain, obviously, and obviously Riley Moss has been continuing to play well. And those edge rushers continue to play well, like I said. Jonah Ellis and Q Robinson having a couple big plays today in Wednesday's longer practice. RJ Harvey continues to excel as a third down back, and his receiving skills continue to get better, as well as little Jordan Humphrey having a pretty decent day, catching a lot of passes during team. In the QB2 race, Sam Ehlinger continues to push Jarrett Stidham to his limits and continues to stack good days on top of each other. Sean Payton didn't say too much on the QB competition, but it does seem like Sam Ehlinger is pushing Jarrett Stidham to try to be that QB2. Lastly, Bo Nix did throw his first pick of camp, throwing it to KAD on an out route. Big play from KAD. Love that we have him as depth. Like I said, the Broncos defense is the big standout of camp conversations over the last couple of days. Need to see the offense pick it up a little bit, but the Broncos continue to be physical and having some good practices as a whole. Need to keep guys healthy, get Courtland Sutton back out there. Hopefully Nick Bonito's all right, and hopefully Jalen Waddle's all right, because those are two big keys to our team. But as it stands, I'm really excited about how this Broncos team is looking. Guys are bouncing back, guys are looking fresh, and the team is looking competitive against each other. I'll see you all in the next camp conversations.